Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clark on YouTube. Oh no! I think your mom is your best friend, even though sometimes we don't admit to our moms being our best friend. I think your mom is definitely your best friend, hands down, without there being any doubt in anyone's mind. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to everybody watching this show, this podcast. Thank you so much for finding my thumbnail and clicking on it. If you are a Descendants and Zombies fan, hi to you. If you're a first-time watcher of these videos, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Today is Mother's Day 2025, and as I just kicked off the show, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to everybody. I think sometimes we tend to forget how special our moms are and what kind of a critical role they play in all of our lives. They prepare us for life and the challenges that lie ahead, and you don't realize that you've lost your best friend until you can't pick up that phone anymore and call your mom. 20 years ago, I think this year, I lost my mom to a very difficult and intense battle with cancer. It was one of the most difficult and traumatic times of my life, but I remember all the fun times that I had with my mom, and I know she's watching today, and my dad is watching from somewhere out there, and they're very proud of the success of this YouTube channel, which happened because of each and every one of you. One thing about my mom was she was so proud of everything that I accomplished as a podcaster. That's one thing that stood about both my parents, really. Were very supportive of me and my dream to want to be one of the best podcasters in the world. And when my mom first gave me money to finance some of the equipment that I used out of her basement to record some of my first podcasts, which were pretty much pilot episodes from her basement, when technology wasn't really as advanced as what it is now. I mean, years ago, we didn't have Logitech Brios, we didn't have advanced software, we didn't have high-tech laptops. You had the minimal requirements for software, and you would use a program called Winamp and Shoutcast together to stream your voice, and if you had a guest, you had the ability through certain softwares to stream phone calls when you were conducting interviews. I've been on virtually every podcast over the last 25 years, and my parents were very supportive of every dream that I ever had, and that's why I always say to each and every one of you that no dream is ever unreachable, and every dream that you ever aspire to accomplish or set out to achieve is definitely achievable. All you have to do is believe in yourself. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who have found my thumbnails, who have enjoyed these videos so much that you're giving me feedback, you're hitting the like button, and you're subscribing to this YouTube channel. I know somewhere out there today, my parents are both watching, and they're very proud of this YouTube show, and I'm sure your parents are very proud of you too. So I think that on a day like today, I don't think that enough moms out there get enough credit for what they do. Beautiful, beautiful people, and I just want to send my respect and acknowledgement to today out to each and every one of you who are watching this show. Maybe some of you are moms yourself. You're finding it somewhat challenging to raise your children. You're wondering if you're doing a good job at doing it, but believe me, you are doing a fabulous job, and never count yourself out, because there is always a new opportunity to create and always teach somebody something that they will learn throughout life. And as I said, you know, my mom was my best friend, and I saw her do without a lot of the time and to provide for the people she loved, and she did such a fantastic job, and I've never ever forgot her. She's always held a special place in my heart. Today is also Sabrina Carpenter's birthday. I believe she's 27 today. I will be doing something special for Sabrina Carpenter, so for Sabrina Carpenter fans who may have tuned into my YouTube channel today expecting to hear my thoughts on Sabrina Carpenter's birthday and me expressing my wishes for Sabrina Carpenter's 27th birthday, you will hear that in an upcoming stream on my YouTube channel, so make sure you tune in for that. Descendants is incredible, is it not? And one of the messages of Descendants: The Rise of Red was to believe in yourself, yes, but it was also about a mom aspiring for her child to be something much greater in life. Now, of course, the Queen of Hearts, which was portrayed by Rita Ora, wanted Red, portrayed by Kylie Cantrell, to be just as evil as what she was and become one of the greatest villains of all time as she plotted to take over Auradon. That was the synopsis of this movie, which resulted in Chloe Charming and Red going back in time and now suffering the consequences of tampering with time, which is to be expected if you do time travel and don't expect consequences. I mean, you're pretty silly if you do that. I've always wanted to go back in time and correct some of the mistakes that I've made. I'm sure that my mom would pretty much kick my ass for some of the stuff that I did back years ago, but the thing is, I always wanted to have a time machine and pull a Phineas and Ferb and go back in time and you know, fix some of the mistakes that I made. But the thing is, we've all been victims of mistakes, and the thing is, we learn from those mistakes, and that's something that Chloe Charming and Red Red both learned in the synopsis, from the synopsis of The Rise of Red, was that with mistakes come consequences. Yes, of course, in this scenario we have the consequences of tampering with time and time travel, but you learn from your mistakes and you become better people from your mistakes. And obviously the Queen of Hearts is learning from her mistakes. Although the time travel changed the course of history, and we saw what, Bridget could have been and eventually became at the end of the movie. But the thing is, we learn from our mistakes. So we aspire to be better people through the mistakes of our people around us and examples that they set, but we learn from our mistakes. And I think it was a very powerful message that was conveyed by The Rise of Red, not forgetting about how we should stand up to our bullies and achieve every dream that has ever seemed to be unreachable in our lives. I love The Rise of Red. I've watched that movie probably, I don't know, 100 times over the course of the last year. It was released in July of 2024, last summer. I remember how big the premiere of that was on Disney Channel and then Disney Plus. Originally it premiered on Disney Plus before crossing over to Disney Channel, and so many people were taking themselves on the opportunity to catch the premiere of this one. And there were people actually posting countdown videos to this one on YouTube. Within less than 24 hours, people were criticizing that movie. I don't think there was any room for criticism of that movie. I was podcasting last year. I saw all the critical reviews people were posting of it, and I had no time for it. I immediately X'd off the video on YouTube. I didn't watch anything on TikTok. I didn't watch anything on Instagram. I had no time for it because I promised all of you when I launched this YouTube channel last year, you would hear nothing but good things and positive reviews about movies like The Rise of Red and Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, the trilogies in their entirety. And you will get that from this YouTube channel. You will not hear anything critical about anything in relation to Descendants and Zombies, because I know how powerful of an impact it's had on all of our lives. And it really has had such a powerful and profound effect on all of our lives, because it has changed the way we perceive ourselves and perceive life in general. Because I think that this movie has definitely inspired us to do a lot of things. Maybe it's to become a singer. Maybe it's to write a song. Maybe it's to stand up for what you believe in or stand up to your bullies. Maybe it's to stand up to criticism and fight back. I think that ultimately the images that these stars have conveyed through the portrayals of Red, Chloe Charming, Mel, Evie, is that you can be powerful and you can be strong and you can achieve every dream that your heart has ever desired to accomplish. And that's one message that I've stood by. And I give the stars of Descendants, I give the writers and producers all the credit in the world for sticking with that image from installment to installment. It never seems to change, no matter what the cast looks like, no matter what the synopsis seems to be of every movie. It's always a positive message, and I wish Disney would create more movies and more franchises off of that same kind of synopsis and same kind of scenario, because we don't know how many people could walk away from this one and run away with the idea of being inspired to achieve every dream possible. And that's something that I give these writers and these producers all the credit in the world for having done. They opened up the movie The Rise of Red with such a powerful song. Of course, it was self-titled Red. It was an introduction to this new character, what she was all about, and she seemed so rebellious against every vision that her mother may have had, portrayed by Rhea Order, of course, the Queen of Hearts. And the thing about the Queen of Hearts was, going into this movie, I don't think the Queen of Hearts really had a very big fan base. I don't think many people loved the Queen of Hearts. And I'll be honest with you, the Queen of Hearts was one of those characters that was really annoying to me. She had this really annoying voice. She had this really annoying approach where she believed that everything that she said or did was right, and nobody could ever go against her. It was off with her head. I've seen so many people doing that impression of off with your head, but she was just such an annoying character, and I somewhat find time in concurring with everybody that said that they hated the Queen of Hearts. She was never my favorite Disney villain. I was more of a Hades guy because he was perfectly infuriating. I was more of a Maleficent kind of guy because she was just so fearless and she wasn't afraid of the consequences of her actions when she put, of course, Aurora to sleep in the original Sleeping Beauty back in 1958. We've seen so many powerful representations of Disney villains, but the Queen of Hearts just didn't have it for me. So I think that Red's portrayal of her daughter was something that we didn't expect. I mean, we never thought that the Queen of Hearts would have such a beautiful daughter that would be so rebellious and would go on to inspire so many people. Of course, they're referred to as VKs, and definitely the VKs, if that's what they were being referred to as, are inspiring so many people. Tens of millions of people, if not billions of people, but definitely tens of millions of people are inspired by these Disney villain kids and what they aspire to be. be, whether that be rebellious, whether that be a spread a message of kindness, whether that be to stand up for what you believe in. It's just an incredible franchise. Both Descendants and Zombies are doing a fabulous job of that, even though that Zombies is taking a more dark, sinister turn now with the dawn of the vampires to be expected. And of course, Zed falling for somebody else, a Kung Fu Panda fighting chick that obviously is going to aspire to make noodles, although we haven't seen her do that in any of the trailers as of late. The thing is, there is a dark, sinister twist coming with Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, and I'm kind of, really freaked out by it, to be honest with all of you, but I'm really excited to see what kind of turns, diabolical turns this one will take, and if we'll see Zombies 5, Zombies 6, and if we'll see Descendants 5, 6, 7, what have you. This new title for Descendants is really cool. It's really intriguing. It's called Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, as difficult as that title is to say off the back of your tongue. I'm really excited to see what kind of stuff will happen, what kind of consequences Red and Chloe will face from tampering with time. Of course, as I mentioned here earlier, we all wish we had the opportunity to build a time machine, pull a Phineas and Ferb, go back in time and fix the consequences of all of our actions. We've all, no matter if we admit to it or not, we've all done something stupid in life. I'll go as far as to say that. We've all done something stupid in life. Maybe it's cheat on a test. Maybe it's tell a lie to a friend. Maybe it's tell a lie to our parents. We've all done something stupid to get ourselves out of situations. My dad was really bad for that when he was a teenager. He would always be up to something mischievous behind his parents' back, and of course when my grandfather found out about it, he would literally almost want to kill him. But anything my dad ever did was never with bad intentions, and I think that that's the same thing with everybody. We don't do things without thinking about the consequences of our actions, and we don't do things with bad intentions. I think we all have good intentions in the depths of our heart. We just never admit to it, and I think that there's always a good side and a good persona that everybody tries to put out there, no matter how strict they may seem to be. They're always trying to do something for the better of our acknowledgement and to teach us something new, because there's never an opportunity in life to never not to learn something. There's always an opportunity to learn something new and to take something from your experiences. And definitely the stars of Descendants have done such a fabulous job taking everything from their experiences, and they've done an incredible job with inspiring so many people who are saying on social media that they can stand up to their bullies. I'll never forget how Dove Cameron sent out a tweet a while ago talking about how bullies were dealing with their own insecurities, that they were hiding from the world. And then one fan was so inspired by Dove Cameron, she actually told her at a meet and greet that she was able to stand up to her bullies, and her tweets on Twitter at the time, before it was changed to X, gave her the encouragement to stand up for what she believed in and against every critic that she ever had, because we're all victims of criticism. I mean, let's face it, I've been a podcaster for years, and everybody says my videos are really stupid. And, I just kind of shrug it off the shoulder, and I keep making video after video after video until somebody finds a video that they like and eventually hit the like button. I can only hope that you hit the subscribe button. But the cool thing is, when somebody does hit the subscribe button and say boost me up from 1,661 subscribers to 1,662, it pushes me further out into the algorithm. I can only hope that you hit the subscribe button. I can only hope that somebody finds these videos and loves them just as much as the first person did that originally saw the videos. And the cool thing is, I have a lot of subscribers who have been here from the very first video that have been uploaded, and they will forever hold a special place in my heart, because they are who got this YouTube channel off of the ground, and they are what's got this YouTube channel started from the very beginning. And that's really cool. So if those subscribers can inspire somebody who may have never seen a video of mine to hit the subscribe button, that's amazing. But again, criticism is what creates diversity. Nobody really agreed with Red's opinion on a lot of stuff in life, but she went on to become one of the most revered Descendants characters of all time. And this is the reason why we're seeing new characters like Robin Hood and other girls premiering in Descendants in this franchise for the first time ever. There are so many new cast members that I'm really excited to see where they'll take the Descendants franchise in its entirety. But I think that it all got started definitely because of the powerful portrayal of Mal by Dove Cameron, Maleficent's daughter. Evie, of course, the daughter of the Evil Queen, who had no backstory whatsoever, portrayed by Sophia Carson, who did a fabulous job portraying a character with no backstory whatsoever. And then we go from that to Chloe Charming, portrayed by Mila Baker. Of course, I remember seeing her on shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark, the Nickelodeon reboot, back in 2022, and Kylie Control, of course, on Berserk, Gabby Dern in The Unsittables, High School Musical, the series. I mean, she's got a powerful, powerful resume backing her, and a powerful, powerful dad who was a producer and an actor in his own right. I saw him do a lot of projects for Disney and other things outside of it as well. So I think that the backgrounds of these stars definitely have allowed us to become inspired and definitely allowed the Descendants to explode, and that's the reason why we're seeing this Worlds Collide tour coming up in the summer of 2025. I feel somewhat envious, though, of the Descendant stars, doing a Worlds Collide tour, because I always wanted to be the star of it. I always wanted to do these amazing backflips that I see in these dance numbers like Life is Sweeter When You Were. I'd probably break a few bones. I don't know if I'd be able to execute a backflip or a somersault as beautifully as what these people do and catch Ruby Rose Turner in my arms, but, you can't blame a guy for wanting to try at least. I've had so much fun reviewing these videos for each and every one of you and creating these videos for you. I've watched Descendants, The Rise of Red, as I mentioned, over 100 times. I've loved every song of the new score. I was kind of skeptical, I'm not going to lie, at the beginning of it, but I very quickly fell in love with Red, and her portrayal of the character done by Kylie Control couldn't have been done more effectively by anybody else. I know that Disney goes through about 300 to 350 auditions before they narrow it down to the perfect person to play that character, but I mean, you look at everything she did on Raven's Home as Jasmine, everything as Gabby Dern in The Unsittables, everything on the show, the High School Musical, the series. I mean, she had a powerful resume going into it, and it was almost an instant classic, an instant decision that was made after they saw everything that she was, representing, and then here comes people like Ruby Rose Turner and Mila Baker to back her, and then we come up with these powerful characters like Chloe Charming, portrayed by Mila Baker, and Red, portrayed by Kylie Contrell, and the chemistry was just at an all-time high. And to this day, Descendants: The Rise of Red, even though it received a lot of criticism, is still one of the best movies that I think everybody's ever watched that ever said they were a Descendants fan. And 781 hours later of stream time on Disney Plus, who is going to argue that? I don't think anybody is going to argue that. So I saw this really cool video about Kylie Contrell embracing the Red character, and I thought I would show it to you because there's a lot of work that went into creating this character. I mean, some people don't take into consideration how much time and effort is put behind creating a character that was inspired by her mother, the Queen of Hearts, who of course was portrayed by Rita Ora. I didn't expect Rita Ora to come in and do as great of a job as the Queen of Hearts as what she did, but she did such a fabulous job, and then Bridget portraying the young Queen of Hearts just really sent it home. It was a home run, no pun intended, for the franchise Descendants with this movie, and I think the music fit very appropriately into it. I always wanted to be a rock star after seeing Descendants, but I never got around to growing up my hair long and getting a van and calling my band Loaded Diaper. I never got around to calling up my friend and putting that band together, but can you imagine being called Loaded Diaper, like from Diary of a Wimpy Kid? But even though Descendants never allowed me to go on to aspire to accomplish all of my dreams, it's inspired a lot of people, and I give them all the credit in the world. So what do you say we watch this video? I think this is the first time I'm going to be watching the Embracing the Red character video with each and every one of you, and I'm kind of really excited about it because I think it gives a more behind-the-scenes look, if anything, about how much work and dedication goes into creating a character with such a powerful, powerful portrayal and such a positive message conveyed. Guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to stay up to date with notifications. I would really appreciate it because the more subscribers we get, we push this YouTube channel further out into the YouTube algorithm, and I think this video is going to be a whole lot of fun to watch. I'm actually really excited about it. We've all had a favorite character from the Descendants or Zombies franchise. I don't care who you are, but you've always walked away from Descendants or Zombies with a favorite character. No matter if it was Mal, no matter if it was Evie, no matter if it was Red, no matter if it was Chloe, no matter if it was Bridget. We've all had a favorite character that we've always been inspired by, either that or that we've fallen in love with. I've been a huge fan of Dove Cameron for what feels like my entire life, or at least ever since 2013. And if there ever was a character to run away with, inspired by, or to have fallen in love with, it is the powerful, very strong portrayal of the character Red from the Descendants: The Rise of Red franchise, a spin-off from the original Descendants trilogy. I'm really excited to watch this video with you guys. I may never get a date with Kylie Contrell, but I'm actually really excited to watch this video with you guys because I think this is the first time ever that I've actually had the opportunity to watch and provide you with commentary on the Embracing Red documentary. So what do you say we watch this together?
Hi, I'm Kylie Cantrell. I play Red in Descendants: The Rise of Red, and I'm here with Young Entertainment.
She's so
I'm
full
so
of
excited to be
exuberance.
FaceTiming you right now.
I'm so excited to be FaceTiming you. Thank you so much for picking up. So is there one like must do that you do before every audition to get you kind of in the headspace, prepared before you walk in the room, or I guess before you turn on the Zoom, because I know a lot of auditions are Zoom these days.
I mean, that's the interesting thing is I feel like I used to have more of a ritual when I would go into the room because it's so nerve-wracking. You literally have one chance to nail it. But now it takes
Auditions
away
are
the kind of
nerve-wracking,
facade of
believe it or
it.
not. They are
Now that you
nerve-wracking.
just like put
350
the
to
camera
400
on the
auditions.
tripod, you can do as many takes as you want. You're in your living room, like I have sweatpants on. Like it kind of removes the nerves for me, which actually makes it so much easier to do auditions now without that like, oh, I have one chance, I can't mess this up feeling.
Oh my gosh, it's such a game changer because like the pressure I feel like is what kills us. Like when we walk in the room, it's so intense, and so just to be able to do it at home. So what do you do? I don't know if you do this. I've heard some actors do this. Like if they don't have a partner to read the scene with them when they audition, that they will record their voice doing the other part. Have you ever done that, or what's your go-to? Like how do you make that happen?
Oh my God,
That's
recording
really cool.
a voice
I love that people
for
get
a
resourceful with it. I
voiceover
mean,
is so
lucky
much
enough for
fun.
me, I have my dad in the other room, so
And
he's
the effort
usually
sounds
my
are
reader.
incredible.
He's good at tapping into different characters. We actually
People
have a
who get
joke
paid
because
to do
like,
voices
he'll
for
go so
characters
full
in
out being
animated
the other
movies are
character, like
never
he'll
given
give them
enough credit.
accents.
Shout out to
And if
all
it's
of
like a
you.
girl, he'll do a higher pitched voice, and I'm like, dude, like you swear that you're trying. I swear you're trying to book the job more than me. Like he'll be like, oh, I think they called back, but for me this time.
Okay, I love this. How sweet is your dad? That's so fun. Do you ever have a hard time like staying in character because it's your dad and you just want to laugh or something like that? Because
yeah, especially if I actually just did a tape not too long ago where he was like my best friend and we're talking about boys and he's like, oh, tell me. Like, this is so bizarre.
Oh my God, I love it. That is the cutest thing ever. So speaking of auditions, when you auditioned for Descendants, The Rise of Red, was there anything new about that audition process or maybe just something that you learned through the audition process that just stuck out to you?
Give me a second.
I actually feel like that was one of the more calm auditions that I had ever done because, yeah, I didn't feel particularly nervous for it, which is rare. I mean, it maybe is because
When you're a
I was
natural
on the
at doing
Zoom
this,
with
you
like
don't.
all the
The
Disney
thought of being
execs,
nervous
but
doesn't actually come to
maybe
your
because I
mind.
was like in my living room at
I would say
home,
Ruby
it
Rose
felt
Turner was more nervous than
like
what
I was
she
in a
was.
safe setting
By how many
that
times
I
she's
was kind
cried
of
when she
able
was ever
to
turned down
kind
for
of
an
center
audition.
myself and feel grounded. But literally, it was like really chill. One of the most chill auditions. I just jumped on, read the lines a couple of times, did the scenes, and then, like, I kid you not, a few days later, I got the call, and that was it.
Oh, I love it. I love when stuff in life just kind of works out easily like that. It's kind of rare. So I love that. It's amazing. So when you like, since you're doing these on Zoom most of the time, how into character do you get with what you wear for your audition? Or do you kind of just have a go-to look that you always do? Or do you try to
The
dress
costumes
according
for
to
the
the
Rise of
role?
Red were beautiful.
Oh no, I like to get super in character because for me, I think I'm such a visual person that I'm one of those people that if I go to the gym, I have to be in a workout like matching set. Like I have to have my Lululemon zip up to get me in the headspace to work out. So I think that applies with auditions. Like for me to fully feel like the character and get locked in, I have to be in a wardrobe that makes me feel like I'm someone else, like I am that character. So with Red, I had like a dark leather jacket on, which is crazy because she has so much leather in her look. So kind of foreshadowed that. But I had leather, had some red
more leather
clips
than
in
I've got
my
leather
hair,
jacket in my closet.
some red pants. So I definitely tried my best to kind of emulate the vibe that the character was giving off.
Yeah, that's such a good way to put it. The vibe. I love that. Do you remember where you were and what you were doing?
Man, this is young Hollywood and Zoom is like lagging. They're supposed to be professional.
I was walking out of a meeting. So I was with like my manager and someone else from my team and my dad. So it was like cool that we were all together. and my manager was like, "Oh my gosh, it's your agent on the phone." Like he put it on speaker, and my agent did the classic like, "Kylie, I have some unfortunate news. You're going to be really busy in January because you booked Descendants." So it was that classic plot twist. Every agent does that, but yeah, he got me, and I was super just ecstatic. And I immediately called my best friend, and she started bawling, and her whole family was on the phone, and they all were like in tears. So it was a cute moment.
I would be so excited
that's
if I got
sweet.
the
Did
role
you
for
do
Descendants. I'd be
anything
more like,
special to celebrate the news?
That's a great question. I actually don't feel like I did.
It's not too late.
I would love to be booked in scenes where I would have the opportunity to execute vertical
Honestly, everything
suplexes
was
on
moving
people.
so insanely
Like those
fast
wrestling
at that
scenes, like
time.
from Shrek.
I was just about to leave to go shoot High School Musical right when I found out the news. So
I
I
love
think I
High
hopped
School
on a plane to
Musical.
Utah literally a few days
Of
after
course, she's talking
I
about the
got the
series,
news.
but
So
I remember watching the
I was
original
filming
movies
and
and being bursting
busy,
in tears.
but it all just went by so fast.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so fun. So, being that your character is from Wonderland, what was your favorite thing about that place?
Ooh,
I would love to have the opportunity to drive a
there's
side-by-side
something
through
really
a rabbit
magical
hole like
about
she
it, and I
did.
feel like we all have this idea for what Wonderland kind of looks like. It's been reimagined in different ways through different films.
Either
and
run
Alice
through it
in
like
Wonderland
Sonic the
films,
Hedgehog
and
at top
I think
speed,
we
or drive a
have an idea in our
side-by-side
heads
flat out
about
through the
it,
rabbit
but
hole.
seeing it in a new reimagined way in this film, like our own interpretation of Wonderland, I think is really cool. It's a fresh take on it, and in
It
this
definitely
film
is a fresh take.
particularly,
Very updated
Wonderland
feel
is a bit
from
more
the
like
original Wonderland and the original fairy tales.
what's the word? I mean, there's like the Crimson Army that are like the guards that are constantly like watching over the city. So it feels like a bit more tense and like there's more strict rules. And that is because of the Queen of Hearts creating this very
She was always very strict
kind of
and very annoying.
strict environment. But it also, there's some magic about it. And I think we see that with Red when
Right out
she,
of my mouth.
you know, kind of lets loose and runs around the town like late at night
Kylie have a lot in common.
incognito, and she's causing all this madness. We kind of see the beautiful side of Wonderland, that it is this magical place that, you know, Red grew up here. She runs around. She owns the town in her own right. So, yeah, it's just fun seeing the world, and especially because I was working with green screen when I filmed it, so I had no clue what it was going to look like. So seeing the final product and all the red and the castle and just the magnitude of it was
Green
really
screen
cool
is a
to
lot
see
of
how it
wires,
turned
a lot
out.
of contraptions.
Oh my gosh,
for
she
those of you who
probably
are
just had
unfamiliar with
chills
it.
like the whole time
There's all these
watching it.
wires
That's
and
so
contraptions that
magical
you're
to see
hanging
it come to
from.
life, and like
You're
you're
either lying
in it.
down or
That's
you're
crazy.
hanging from so many feet in the air.
Truly. It's
That's
insane.
so
What an incredible
That's so
experience that must
fun.
have
Did
been.
you find that there was a challenging part of this project? And if
A
so,
green
how
screen
did
with
you
this would take up
overcome
this
it?
whole wall back here.
Now
You see
that I use Monday
That
Service,
would take up the
AI
whole
makes
wall.
solving tickets my form
Probably this
of
whole
meditation.
room.
Monday Service is a ticketing platform that helps us manage and automate our...
Probably this whole room is what the green screen would take up. So
I
you'd
feel
have
like
all this
every
all
project
the
comes with its
posters and
own
everything together. You wouldn't even
challenges,
see the lights.
but I would say with this one, I mean, I think there was like a stamina.
The day I
that
wake up and I see a
I
truck
had
with a
to
green
just
screen in the
develop,
back of it outside in my
and kick
driveway,
into that
I'm
gear
really,
because
really
of the
excited.
fact that, you know, I was on set every single day for 3 months. Like there was never a day that I wasn't filming. So just having that mental and physical endurance to, you know, push through those long days. And also like, I feel like with Red too, she's so like multi-dimensional. So I'd be doing one scene where she's like emotional, and then another scene where it's like a little more comedic, and then her doing parkour. So it was like constantly I was like switching modes, like trying to keep track of where she was in her character journey and her character development. So that was a lot just to like keep mental note of that. But it was so fun, such a fun challenge. I loved it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Also, one thing I found too, like when you're on set like that for a long period of time and you're constantly doing something that's kind of calling you to rise to the occasion, and you do that over and over and over again, you become like you enter into the next level as an actor, because that repetition just takes you to that next level. And it sounds like you were totally like that was you every single day. So you're probably like a whole new actress.
I was locked in. I was a machine by the end of it. Like just muscle memory, the repetition of it. You're totally right.
That's so cool. So speaking of like the whole acting side of things on this project, since you're filming every single day for 3 months, do you work with an acting coach, or do you just like get the script and then you do the table read and then you just go into it? Like, what is this? What does the process look like this? Like when you're the star, are you working with a coach, or are you just kind of doing things on your own?
Yeah, we had a lovely dialect coach on set, Ria, who I absolutely adore. So I think working with her helped a ton. And our director, Jennifer Fang, like we had a whole month where it was really just the
I would have
training
loved to have
aspect of it.
directed
We were
this.
going over
I
the
want to put
scenes,
that out
like
there. Anyone who
top
wants
to
to get me in
bottom,
as a
like
director or
every day for
producer of the
that
next
month. And
Descendants,
also I was
Descendants
doing
6,
the
7,
parkour
Zombie 6,
training and
7,
choreography and working on that. So we
hit
had
the
a whole month of just
subscribe
like
button. I
boot
would love
camp,
to
like
direct
getting
you.
us ready, getting us locked in for filming so that we could just go, go, go. So I feel like I was so in it, and I knew the character like the back of my hand by the time we started filming because I put that time in to figure it out beforehand. So I think that really helped. But I feel like every actor has their own method, and with me and,
Yeah, it's
and
called
with Red,
method acting.
I think I just tried to really make her as real to me as possible. So I did like, I had a notebook where I would write diary entries as Red and try to just figure out all her layers and all the little
I used
parts
to
of her
write
that
diary entries
make
every
her
night
who
when I was
she
a
is,
kid.
so that
So I
it felt real and it felt
appreciate
vulnerable. So
people like Duff
I
Cameron and
think
Carly
that
Control
helped a
keeping
lot, but
diaries
I don't
because
know. I
I
just
was
like
a
to put
real
the work in
Doug
ahead
kind
of
of
time
character
so that
from
when
that
I
show
get
Doug, that
set, I can
Nickelodeon
just like
show.
have fun
Real
and
geek. I used to
play.
write a journal entry
Totally. Do
every
you have a
night when I
trick to
was a kid.
memorizing lines?
Every night.
And I feel like I always get asked this. And I don't know what to say because I don't really have a trick. I think it's just repetition. I see it kind of like choreography in a way. Since I
Yeah.
grew up a dancer, I think I just apply that same thing to lines, just like the repetition of it, the practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of boring, but it's
Oh, great. Okay, so speaking of being a visual person, and you said like you like to dress up and get in character for the auditions, what was your get ready with me every day on set? Like, was hair and makeup intense? Were you in the trailer for a long time getting ready? What did that look like every day preparing to be Red?
Oof, it was insane. I had never gone through a
3 to 4
transformation
hours,
quite
I
as
think.
drastic as playing Red, because it was the red wig, it was the makeup that was so heavy, the red lip every day, the nose ring, all there are so many aspects
Nose
to her
ring?
wardrobe too. Like I always needed some people from wardrobe to help me because there's so many little details in her look that I couldn't just do on my own. So it was a full transformation. And some days I would be in the hair chair for like 3 hours. They kind of like started, I feel like, getting in the rhythm of it. Like the glam team was moving really, really quickly towards the end because we had to.
I have so much
But,
respect
yeah,
for
I remember there were
parents
some
out there
days
because
where
I
I
can't
was like,
imagine what your
oh my
reaction
God, I've
is
been
when your little
sitting
girl
here
looks at
for
you
a
at 6 years
long
old and
time,
says,
like,
Mom, Dad,
Yeah.
I want to get
What
my
did you
ears
do when you were
pierced.
just sitting there?
My
Did
nose
you have
pierced.
any like
I think I
go-to?
would
I don't
freak.
know. Were you just scrolling? Were you chatting? What did you do for
oh
3
yeah, a lot of like
I would freak out.
Netflix. I'm trying to think what I was watching at that time. I might have been watching Dance Moms. I think I was doing like a Dance Moms binge at that time. So watching that in the hair chair, asleep
See
a lot
what
of
you
the
just
time,
did up there?
early
I
days.
never do that during a video.
Yeah.
I think I might have
That is
done
so
that
fun. Okay,
once
if you
for the
were to
first time
live
in
in
30
any
years the
princess
other night when I
palace,
drank a
which
milkshake
one
during
would
a
it be?
video.
And what is one thing that you would need to have in that palace?
That's a good question.
30 years I've never
Whatever
drank a
the
milkshake
palace
on the
is
set of a
where
video.
Jasmine,
until the
Princess
other night.
Jasmine and Aladdin, whatever that palace is, I would probably pick there. And then a necessity, a
Agrabah
phone
Palace.
charger and a phone.
Carly. Agrabah Palace.
Love it.
Wake
You're
up and
a
get with the
practical
program.
princess.
Agrabah
That's what you
Palace.
are. I love it. How cute. Okay, if you could be a Disney villain for a day, which would it be and why?
I think I would be my own villain.
Maybe Queen of Hearts.
Ooh, cute. Good
Step into
answer.
my mom's shoes.
I think I would be
love it.
Hades. If I
Was
couldn't
there
be my own
anything,
inspired
so a little
villain.
bit of a throwback, was there anything that you learned, like acting-wise, from being on High School Musical, the musical, the series, that you brought with you into Descendants, The Rise of Red?
I think
That's
one of
really
the things
good.
that I
I
learned
think
from all my years in
something
theater was
that
it's so
I
much fun
became
playing with
more
the smoke
aware
machine.
of because
If
of
you ever have the
my
opportunity
character on
to
High
do
School
special
Musical, I
effects
think
and study
is like the
lighting and stuff,
physical acting of it
take
all
yourself
and
up in the opportunity to play with a
really
smoke
trying to
machine
figure
that
out
shoots like 6
the
feet of smoke.
physicality of the character you're
Ah.
playing, because I had to do a lot of that with Danny. Um, because I feel like how she carried herself and her body was so much of what made her that Sharpay, like mean girl. Like she always had her hand on her hip, like always had a strut when she walked.
Oh,
So I
nobody could
really
beat
had
the
to figure
portrayal of
that out with
Sharpay
her.
Evans by
And
Ashley
then it made
Tisdale. I
me
was in the
like,
back of
oh,
so
I
many
need to be
movie
doing
theaters
this with
because of
every
that
single
character in
character,
Ashley
like
Tisdale
figuring
20
out
years ago.
how they stand and how, how they just navigate the world. So I think that's something I did apply with Red, is like figuring out her little mannerisms and how she moves. And I think that is something I definitely brought with me from High School Musical.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is such a good point. And a lot of times, like, yeah, that's kind of secondary because you do all the inner work as the character. And then sometimes that doesn't come out physically and you have to put like more intention. That is such a good point. We have a lot of young actors that follow us. So we do like the master class segment. So this will be like so good for them, to learn, because that's such a good point that you might not think about. Now, I don't know if you've heard about this, but there is a famous behind the scenes clip of Whitney Houston and Brandy when they were working on the song Impossible from their time on Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. And in this clip, Whitney says to Brandy, "Why are you down there?" Meaning like she was singing in such a low range. So what would be going through your mind if Whitney said that to you when you were singing?
I would be shaking in my core was the case. I mean, that was actually like, that was one of the sweetest things to watch on set was Brandy and Rita, because Rita had been a huge
I think
Brandy
one of the
fan
sweetest
growing up.
things
I
to
think the
watch on
first
set
concert
when I was doing
Brandy.
Phantom of the Opera
So
in high
that
school
was such
years
a cool
ago
moment to
was
witness
me
them
falling down
meeting
from the
and how they
stage.
interacted with each
Everybody
other.
laughed immensely
When
when
we
the
were
smoke
shooting that
machine
coup
didn't come on
scene
correctly. I
where we're
ran
all
out
in
and
it
pushed the
together,
button around and I
my
fell down
mom
through the
Rita
set.
and Brandy, they spent a lot of time together, and watching them, they would like sing with each other. And Rita was even asking Brandy, like, "Oh, I want to add a little
I literally
run in the
became
scene.
Phantom
Like,
of the Opera
what
that
little
night.
run should I do?" And Brandy was like, "Oh, you should do whoa,"
Literally.
like giving her little ideas, and like Rita was like taking notes. Like it was just like so cool to see that, one of those like priceless moments. But that's the perk that comes with working with incredible vocalists. You pick up little tips and tricks.
Yeah, that's amazing, which leads perfectly into my next question. So if you were to do like a sing off or like a riff off, like they call it in Pitch Perfect, against Rita Ora, what are some songs that you think you would do to like go back and forth between you two?
Ooh,
I was so upset that Anna Kendrick wasn't
like,
in The Accountant 2.
Baby. I remember loving that.
I was looking
song
forward to
as a
her
kid.
being in The Accountant 2 after that amazing performance she did in Pitch Perfect in the
Okay, so
original
in our
Accountant.
last interview, when we spoke about your role on High School Musical, the musical, the series, you had mentioned that you had a scene with Joshua Bassett, who plays Ricky Bowen in the show, that got cut. But we posted that clip about you talking about it, and everybody was like, "But wait, can you tell us about the scene, like what the storyline was from the scene?" Are you able to share that with us?
Yeah. So that was supposed to be my introduction, is Ricky Bowen. He's walking down the hall, and then we bump into each other, and I'm
Sounds
like,
like a really
"Hey,
freaky name.
do you know
Ricky
where
Bowen.
the
Hey,
field
dude,
is?
what's your
Like
name? Ricky
I'm performing.
Bowen.
Like you
I
don't
think
know
if I was
who I
walking
am, do you?"
down
And
the
it's just like
hallway
this little sassy
towards
interaction.
on the set of Descendants, and like I
Danny's
was
flirting
going
a
for
little
like
bit,
the
whatever,
burritos
just,
and stuff. I'd be
turning
like,
on the
"Man, dude,
charm.
what's your name?"
You can't
Ricky
really
Bowen.
tell
I think
whether
I would
she's
turn around
like
and go the other
good
way.
or bad.
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Shut up,
Sadly,
Google.
that scene will
Nobody's
never see the
asking
light
you
of day.
That's so funny. Is there anything specific that you remember from that moment, like working with Joshua?
But
Fractional shares are here. Own a piece of your favorite big name stocks in real time, commission free. Make every dollar work for you.
oh,
You're
come
in
on, yellow
control.
line.
Get fractional shares. Get yours.
Dialpad AI works for you
Oh
and
my
your
God.
customers.
Come on.
It won't fall in love with them, but it
Joshua's like one of the sweetest humans ever. He was so welcoming to me, and I just remember being like, "Oh, I think this is going to be really fun," because that was my first day on set, was working with him. So I was like, "Wow, this is going to be a really fun experience, I think." I just remember him singing like the whole time, and we were like, occasionally I'd jump in with a little harmony or something, but he's very musical and such a talent.
That's so fun. I love it. Okay, and then one last formal question, I guess you could say. So obviously, since you were in High School Musical, the series, I know the fans. Oh my gosh, we had
so many people loved High School Musical, the series.
Fans that just rave over that show, and they're sad that it's over. So what is one thing that you would say to the fans, just knowing that it's over and it's been a minute? Do you have like a message for them that would maybe like comfort them, or just, I don't know, a message for them?
To all my wildcats out there, you held the most special place in my heart. I know I was only at East High for a short amount of time, but I think Danny had a great time. I hope that she graduates East High, and maybe it's not the end of her story. Maybe
it's
we'll
never
meet
the
her
end of
again,
anybody's
but
story.
I had
There's
the
always an
best
opportunity
time.
to write a final chapter. I don't care what
Yeah,
anybody
you
says.
never know, right? Maybe it's not the end of the story.
If you want to become a pro wrestler, become a
amazing.
pro
Okay,
wrestler.
we're
If you
gonna
want to become a
do
volleyball
rapid
player,
fire
become a
really
volleyball
quick, so
player. If you want to
just
become an actor or
whatever
actress,
comes to your
become an
mind
actor or
first. They're
actress.
short and easy questions. So
Don't
rapid
ever let
fire,
anybody
and it's
stop you.
all about first. So what was your first acting role?
First
I would
acting role,
love to
I
vertical
played
suplex
Tessa
somebody.
on Bizarre Bark. I was Olivia Rodrigo's little cousin.
Oh my god, how cute is that? And then, oh my god, that's like full circle. I love it. First audition.
First audition, it was for, I think it was for some sort of like little commercial. Why am I blanking now? I don't know. It was for some like kitty commercial. I don't know.
Remember if you booked it?
I would love to have
I
been
don't
in
think
a
I
board
booked
game
it.
or video game
I don't think I
commercial.
did. I remember being so sad that I
Be the guy that
I
always
had like
says,
one line.
"I
in the
win!"
commercial. Oh, I think it was like a car commercial where I just had to like say one little line, but unfortunately didn't book it.
Do you remember how old you were?
I think I was like 6.
So that's hard, right? When you get a no when you're 6 and you can't really understand. You're like, why didn't I get this?
I know, that's what sent me on my
You got it
villain
because you were
arc.
talented.
I was like,
You got it because
I
you
need to
deserved
book
the role.
something
You didn't get it
after
because
that.
somebody was sitting there criticizing you
I
because
love
you
it.
got
That's
it.
great. Your first day on set.
First day on set, it was a national Target commercial. And that was like, actually, that might have been my first role because I had lines in it. But yeah, funny story. I thought that I was going to be a background dancer, and I didn't find out till that day that I was like going to have lines, and it was just me in the commercial. So I was like, oh, that's crazy. Good to know.
Did they just give you the script right then and there?
Yeah, basically.
Oh my god.
I was taken aback.
That's so funny. One time when I was living in LA and I was doing like background work, I showed up to set. And so there's like a bunch of extras. It was actually for a backup dancer thing too. And so we're all sitting there. And then they start calling out names, and they started calling my name. I was like, what could they possibly need me for? And I was actually there to be, it was for a music video for this artist. And it was to be their double.
I would have loved to have been in music videos in the 90s.
And I was like, what? I had
Man.
no idea. But I was like, I was their same height, same
You say to
hair color,
yourself,
and
Jeff
everything.
Clark,
And
can you
it
sing or
was,
dance?
like,
No.
the most
I
fun
would
day
just
ever,
love the
and it was the
opportunity
most
to be in
pleasant
music video in the
surprise
90s.
because I
That's
had
what
no
I'm saying.
idea what I was
You
getting
never
into.
know. You got to always come camera ready. You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. It's fun. Okay, so do you remember, let's see, your first dream role, like when you were younger watching something and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to play that or be that someday?
Is technical SEO holding you back? Try Semrush Site Audit. It's so simple. Enter your domain, press stop.
I would say probably the first character that I was like super obsessed with was Alex Russo from Wizards of Waverly Place.
I think
Like,
everybody
that
was
the
obsessed with
coolest
Alex
to be a
Russo.
wizard and cook up spells.
Yeah, that's a good one. Your first on-screen kiss, if you've had one.
Yes, my first on-screen kiss, it was actually with Max Donovan, who played my best friend.
I remember years ago when I was at the mall, I think I was at
Gabby
EB
Duran and
Games somewhere
Symbols.
buying
We
a
had like a
game,
scene where we like
and
bump
some
into
girl
each other
who
and like,
watches my
accidentally
YouTube
kiss.
channel came up to me
But
and
I
she was
think that
like,
was
hey
my
Jonathan,
first
I
one.
watch you on YouTube.
Oh my gosh, I've
Do you have
interviewed
any
him.
advice
He's
on how
so
I can
nice.
dress up like Selena
Yeah,
Gomez?
he's
Cool.
sweet.
And I turned around and I was
Any
like,
like
man,
behind the scenes, like, I don't know, moment
I nodded
about
my
that
head and I
kiss?
think I
Like,
went
was
the
it
other
awkward
way.
at first? Was it funny? Did you guys have to like practice practice? Like, how did that go down?
Oh God. No, we didn't really practice. I mean, it was like one of those that we did like 2 takes and they were like, okay, we won't make you guys do that again. Like, but it was fine. I mean, he was just, it was easy to do with him. He's just a friend. So it was all chill.
That's fun. First time you had to cry on cue.
Cry on cue. That's good. I would say it was probably for Gabby Duran. Yeah, probably for like the finale of the first season. I had to like have a little emotional scene. So I think that was the first time.
And how did you do that? That's a big question that we get. Like, how do you cry on cue?
I think for me, music is such a helpful tool to get me to that place. Like, I have a sad playlist.
It's not impossible.
I would just go in my trailer, put my headphones on, and just think about something sad and listen to sad music, and it puts me in the vibe.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, last one. First movie or TV show. I guess we kind of just went over this, but first movie or TV show that inspired you to become an actor. Like, try to think about like your youngest age possible that you saw
Power
something.
Rangers. Woohoo! I wanted to be the red one so bad.
Something Disney related.
Either that or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Wizards of Waverly Place, probably. I think that was like the earliest show I can remember that really impacted me as a kid of like, I need to be on screen like that. I want to be just like Selena. So
I think everybody wanted to be just like Selena.
Did you ever watch Lizzie McGuire?
Well, that was a little before my time. I've seen some reruns of it. I think it's a cute show, but I didn't catch it while it was like on TV still.
Yeah, that was like, I feel like that one was a huge deal. Like that and the original High School Musical, like for my generation, was like the big, like, oh my gosh, I'm watching these shows. I want to be on Disney Channel someday. And I think Wizards was like right after that, like right along like Sweet Life too, or maybe Sweet Life was a little bit.
That was when Disney Channel was
at
the
like
heights of
my
its
era
popularity.
Where I was really into Disney was like Sweet Life,
Yeah,
Wizards.
I was really into Disney then too, but I think I've been a part of every generation.
Thank you guys for watching. It's me, Kylie Cantrell, and make sure you subscribe to Young Entertainment.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day as a family or as yourself solely watching this video with me. It was so much fun. Embracing the Red character just goes to show just how much work ethic and dedication goes into the portrayal of a character. You almost have to become that character. As freaky as that scenario may seem, that's what a lot of people have to do. They not only have to portray the character, but they also have to become it and sometimes embody it, and sometimes these characters just forever leave an imprint on all of our hearts. Give me a second to switch back over, and we will close this one out. Kylie Cantrell just has this very beautiful and very appealing soul and personality that goes with it. I love her ability to entertain. I love her enthusiasm. I love how she's into just everything that she puts her heart and soul into and her mind into. She's just the embodiment of an actress that I think all of us should aspire to be. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day, your lives, to join me for the Embracing Red documentary, which I'll be throwing up on my archives on my YouTube channel. Guys, I can't thank you enough for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel for the better part of the last year. Almost 2,000 subscribers have came in on this YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button, and ringing the bell to stay up to date with notifications. So if you're not one of them, make sure you do that. You're going to want to do that to stay up to date with everything happening on this YouTube channel. I've got a lot of fun stuff planned, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun on this YouTube channel. And I promise you, if you want to hear something nice about Descendants and Zombies and all your favorite stars in the way of reviews and commentaries, then you're going to want to keep it locked on this YouTube channel. You're also going to want to pick up the phone and call your friend and tell them about all this amazing content that you're finding on this YouTube channel. It's been such an honor and a privilege of mine being able to join you for all of this and offer you my retrospective and my theories on all of this, although I don't think I'm going to be abducted by aliens anytime soon. And I also want to say thank you guys so much for just being here, and thank you to all of the moms for doing a wonderful, wonderful job. You are all incredible people for teaching us all valuable lessons in life, and I think sometimes that your dedication and your work ethic is something that is very inspiring, that is sometimes underlooked and underappreciated. But I want to say thank you so much for everything that you do. Happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you. Go spread some kindness. We will do it again in a couple of days. Bye, YouTube.